is Kevin Stefanski saying his quarterback plan or his quarterback naming plan or the way to figure out how to map out naming a quarterback is written currently in pencil. What is in pencil, to the best of your knowledge there, Tom?
My understanding going into the summer, right after they had seen through OTAs and minicamp, they had gotten a taste of all four quarterbacks. They were divvying up the reps. My understanding was there was truly no decisions made, and they wanted to do their best to make it a fair opportunity for everybody to show what they can do through the course of training camp here. You've got four players who could not possibly be at more disparate points in their career. You've got 41-year-old Joe Flacco, who won a Super Bowl like 13 years ago and was on the couch until the Browns brought him back and ended up going to the playoffs with him in 2023. You got Kenny Pickett, who had a lot of injuries. He had concussions, but you can also fairly say that maybe he didn't get, the best opportunity to show what he could do in Pittsburgh. And then you got two guys who walked in the door a couple of months ago for the first time in the NFL and have so much to learn. I think that when people think that this is either Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett, that's a pretty good bet, in large part because the hardest thing that the Browns could do here would be roll one of these guys out, the rookies, as a starting quarterback. Dillon Gabriel, maybe he's, pint-sized Bo Nix from a year ago coming out of the same offense, and you can get him up to speed. He's not going to do as much with his legs as Bo Nix did, but maybe he can show you something, but he's still got a growth process. Shedeur Sanders has a ton to learn, all the things you saw in college in terms of the decision-making and holding on to the football and taking sacks. That takes a while, and he's in an NFL offense for the first time. The logical way to approach this, Rich, I would just think, and I'm not speaking for anybody else here, the logical way to approach this would be you give Joe Flacco a start, you give Kenny Pickett a start, you give the two rookies a lot of playing time through those first two preseason games, and then, as Stefanski said yesterday, you make a decision as soon as possible. Now, having said that, we've all seen it, Rich. We've all seen when you get into the preseason and it's usually a first-round quarterback, but sometimes a rookie quarterback or a young guy will jump off to such a great degree that the coaches involved just have to go, we've got to at least give this guy a shot. Otherwise, you're the Browns a number of years ago when you had Baker Mayfield pretty plainly being ready to roll, and instead he was informed that, hey, you won the number 2 job and ended up being on the bench at the start of the season behind Tyrod Taylor. You got to play the best guy. The people in the locker room always know you can't fool the other players. And if Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders is the best option, they'll be out there. But it is the hardest outcome for the Browns to reach for a variety of different reasons here. I do believe we will get through those first, at least one, probably 2 preseason games before we have the season in Cleveland.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.